kule issue yama societal expectations, yes, because that becomes a barrier. And also another issue ke yama roles. And mawubuka ke, I wanted to just touch on the issue with mawubuka lo gender. Because gender, masimchaza, it's man-made. That's one. It's not creator given, it's nothing like that. It's man-made. So these are social constructs. So if these are social constructs, then these things can change over time. These things we can manipulate. We manipulate very even nanyalo kusikhuluma nje. It's not standard. Across the world, this is what a man is. A man in Eswatini is different from a man in the East or in the West or anywhere else in the world. So these are things these are very Indvodza must provide. The example that most of the men we sikhuliswa abomake because boba babekho. The other aspect ukuthi boba babekho boba bebayofuna economic activity to ensure ukuthi they provide. And to the boy vele the patriarch is being iyaqhubekisela into ngoba kuthiwa vele nawe ezukhuluma Indvodza. This is what you must also do. You must be absent from the family. Go and look out for what kunatikliwe in. So vele nje ngiyiwele ukuthi those are the type of things. Lokho ukuthi we must break ngoba sikhula nyalo bosisi bethu bayafunza bobhuti bayafunza. If nasisi siyabuka siyakhanza ukuthi sisingathi stands better chances. What would be the problem with having a house husband? If the woman can go and work and bringing the cash or bringing the money, impilo iqhubeke la ngisale ke phamine ngingabi ukuthi ngiyindvodza ngikaze makuthi tawubuya atopheka makabuya endelo kona lokho phela makana makakhanza sengendile tinshwana talandlini so sengigojotisile sengicleanile sengimele makuthi makubuya nini sitobona ukuthi cha makabuya ngena uhlale awunalitiya ufuna ini namhla kunjani uyabona kungabi ngathi iissue ngathi le ndvodza seyilulata mase senda njalo no asilulata le ndvodza. We are sharing these things, these responsibilities. Because nami, that is what I would expect. Ngeke bese makuhambe usebenza phinze makufuna aqashe nasisi ngibe ngikhona. Kanzi mina I wouldn't expect to ukuthi ngiqashe sisi nabe makukhona la khaya. Ngidasi mina phela makuthi uqhubeka ubambe la. Ngoba phela mina ngiyimlo uhambe osebenza wena ke uyasali uyabona konke ukuthi kahle uyasibheka nasihambe kuseni sihamba netkaftin. Nama ngende njalo. Nabahambe kuseni abahambe netkaftin.
I love that very much. My practical examples now. I think that the one major challenge there are societal expectations. I'm not in the head of Mbugelo Sakaya, but sengiyacabanga ukuthi uyatibuta ukuthi kunaleti inhlangano tabo Kwakha Indvodza leti nema department that you're also under, whose role is to educate and allow men to interrogate lama masculinities lawa. But the reality is, nangabe kusengendeki kwasuka from babe yena himself go ukuthi sesithinga kushintsha because siyalikhuluma lela societal expectations, but in reality the society is also us. So what means can we actually employ effectively, not as institutions or as organizations, but as individuals, as bobabe? How do we break lama stereotypes now? Because currently, Nyalo, we have a fairly young population, Nyalo. 1.2 million people, you've got around 70% of that population being young people. Baga Health recently took out studies or statistics on the ever-increasing rate of teenage pregnancies. Those are fathers as young as 21, as young as 20. Sitsi, Nigibo, moving forward, because if we understand these gender stereotypes, how do we ensure that we do not transfer them to the younger population and is hambin mkhuhlane?
Also covered. But lopinze ube lula. In the context you could see, we cannot afford to leave some of these things to organizations. We have to deliberately bring in the family. We have to deliberately bring in the school system and ensure that some of these empowerment programs are focused on both the boy child and the girl child. So that as a transition, we transition together and have an understanding from a rights perspective, from an early childhood development perspective, so that we know nakabona siswakhe umfana ade kuthi umthathe wabo is an equal nami nangabe ntombazane ibona umfana ibone in equal. Ingabuki, we should not even attach it to genitalia or any other things or any roles that are defined from a patriarchal perspective. But we need to look at, we are trying to change society and bring a balance in our families. If we don't do that, we are going to have chaff even in our level, at our level, that we are going to transition with to the next level. So we'll have a problem. So we need to start from grassroots.
Yeah, and you know, ngetulu kwale issue global semandi, you know. I think what, you know, organizations like Kwakha Indvodza are doing is great. You know, engaging the man and the boy, you know. Because for me, yes, nalumfana vele, yes, but even for us as men, I think it's not late.
Yeah.
For me, it's not late. You know, we can do something even anamul, you know, to you know, for an example, the example that Babet Laminja made, you know, he was actually doing the work in the house in front of other men and women, and Wabakwana is putting pressure, you know, and those are one of the ways, you know, which break the myths and do the unexpected. Because if it's men and women in a setup, the expectation is that having conversations and all of that, you know. But that's in the opposite. So when it's normal, let's normalize it because we are part of the work and we're not waiting to be served. That is why I was saying when we were being introduced, I did not get breakfast in bed.